Good morning. This is Jim Barlow with OakTree Strategic Leverage. And today we're doing a new webinar. Never done this. That's proper English, huh? Um, anyway, I'm doing a whole series, and I'll show you the whole series shortly or before the end. But we're going to talk inversion thinking. That's our new theme. But we're going to do inversion thinking and retirement income and think through that a little bit. So, why Kaizen works when other strategies fail. That's a bold statement. Today isn't about making more money. It's about how people lose. They quietly lose, make mistakes in retirement, often without realizing it. There's a hidden problem. Most financial failures don't come from what people see. They come from what they don't see. It's the iceberg. It's the biggest part of the iceberg is underwater. Those are the things we don't see. I've made those mistakes in my investment career. I made exactly what I wasn't seeing. So most investors are taught to ask one question. So how much can I make? But that question assumes something dangerous, that losses are temporary. They're not always temporary. That time will always repair mistakes. The better question and the responsible question is, how do I avoid losing? Charlie Munger, he was the partner at Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett, and he's passed away at this point, but he was a great inversion thinking person. He said, tell me where I'm going to die so I won't go there. That was a funky statement, but I understand. Oh yeah, I won't go there. Avoiding stupidity is easier than seeking brilliance. Protection. In other words, don't obsess over how to win. Focus on how not to lose. So, how do people fail at investing? When we step back, failure patterns become obvious. First, early losses, sequence risk. This is tragedy. Let's say you had $2 million January 1st, the year you're going to retire. I've got 2 million. I'm going to take out 5% a year, and with my Social Security and other stuff, I'm going to be in pretty good shape. I'm going to take out 100,000. I can't lose. Well, what if it's 2008 and the market goes down 37%? That's what it did. Let's round it to 40%. 10% of 200,000 is 200,000, and we've got four of those. We're down to 1,200,000, and he's taking out 100,000 when it's down 800,000. Losses at the wrong time permanently impair outcomes. Sequence risk. Emotions. I wish I didn't see people make emotional decisions as an investment advisor over the years, but we do. We do. It's hard not to. Unprotected leverage. Oh, shoot. 2008, another example is real estate. Went down big time, even worse than 37% in most cases. If you're borrowing, a lot of people in their commercial properties walked away, let the bank hold the unprotected leverage. Loss of timing control is related to number one, selling or withdrawing when you have no choice. The market's down that 800,000. Taxes. a silent compounding drag. When I sold my business, I had to give quite a bit of it to the federal government as gain. Finally, inflation. It's always there. We have a make-believe money system. We're going to always have inflation. We've got to figure out how to work with that. So that's how people fail at investing. The logical question, if these are the ways people fail, the question is, what would a strategy look like if it was designed to remove these risks? Can we remove these risks? Kairos Aurelius on inversion, the idea isn't new. Wisdom does not begin by asking how to win, it begins by asking where failure is unavoidable. That is inversion thinking. A better design. I put the iceberg there in a drawing with the circle around it. We've got to flip that around and look at the risk involved. We can't just look at the top part. Before we talk about growth and how much we want to make, we eliminate the reasons plans fail. This is inversion thinking applied to wealth. Solve the problem backwards. I took my tree from my logo and made a new funky one there. I might just change the logo. I kind of like that. Anyway, the roots. What are the risks underneath it? Or do we have solid roots? Or are we going to get torn up in a storm? Solve the problem backwards. Instead of asking, how do I win? How do I avoid losing? Kairos Aurelius again said, when time can no longer repair mistakes, structure must prevent them. Let's look at football. Great football teams don't ask how we score the most points. They ask, how do teams lose games? You saw it last night. If you watched the national championship, that punt that was blocked, 7 points, boom. If they had that back, guess who the winner would have been? Wow, interesting. How do people lose? Turnovers, missed assignments, penalties at critical moments, poor situational decisions. Championship teams don't win by being aggressive. They win by being mistake-proof. Boy, again last night. Wow. Another Kairos Aurelius quote on survival. A sound strategy is not proven by optimism, by what it survives. Why does retirement fail? Retirement changes everything. You're no longer accumulating, you're withdrawing. Losses are permanent, not temporary. Sequence risk moves from theoretical to lethal. Timing matters more than average returns. Oh, so it doesn't matter what you're averaging in retirement. Timing matters. Income depends on structure, not markets. In retirement, you don't get paid to be patient. Wow. You don't get paid to be patient in retirement. Traditional assumptions, traditional. Market cooperates early. Withdrawals are well timed. Ooh, that's be wonderful always. Taxes stay manageable. Emotions doesn't interfere. And time is forgiving. Oh, sometimes things are forgiving as you're going through life, but not in retirement when you're taking funds out. Retiring income fails when even one of these things breaks. If more than one, you're really in big trouble. It's the only responsible question. If this is how retirement income fails, the only responsible question is, what would an income strategy look like if we're designed to prevent failure first? Well, enter Kaizen, my product. Kaizen is an inversion strategy. We remove loss, no losses. We remove timing risk. We remove tax uncertainty. And there's other things to remove, but first, we do this through structure, not speculation, not hoping things work out. Then let protected leverage do what it does best. Design, not returns. Retirement income is not a return problem. It's a design problem. Question isn't how much you can earn, it's how reliable you can withdraw. What income must do it? A sustainable income strategy must protect against early losses, preserve timing control, limit emotional decisions, reduce this tax drag. We've gone through this one, provide liquidity without liquidation. Income succeeds when structure something absorbs the stress. That's what Kaizen is designed to do, create predictable income potential, protect principal from market losses, preserve control over withdrawals, improve tax efficiency. Income comes from a design, not selling. Sequence risk is neutralized because there is no forced selling, no margin calls, no required market timing. When markets fall, the income plan doesn't. Retirement taxes matter more than returns. Kaizen minimizes taxable income exposure, which improves net spendable income. Control means when do we take, how much we take, where is it going to come from, how is it taxed? We get control of these things. Kaizen preserves choice, even under stress. Here's a little chart I built. Traditional versus the Kaizen approach. Traditional and market dependent, how things go. Kaizen is a structure. It's built. It's protected. Forced withdrawals, RM required minimum distributions are forced withdrawal. We don't have those in Kaizen. No optional forced withdrawals. Tax exposed. Kaizen's tax efficient. I say tax efficient because that is the compliant word to use. We actually pull funds out for life, tax-free. I won't give all the details right now on that, but it is tax-free income. Sequence sensitive and traditional, we don't care on a Kaizen structure. You're safe in retirement. Who's this designed for? High earners approaching retirement. Retirees concerned about sequence risk or close to being retirees. Investors prioritizing control over upside. Those who value structure over speculation. It's not about beating the market. It's about surviving retirement, not allowing your retirement funds to dissipate. This is a chart. That's a ton of stuff. This is from all my other webinars. This is my list that I've composed over a few years. I'm going to mention all these things briefly, but not a lot of detail. Legacy and living benefits. This is the life insurance. Boom, you're buying this at age 45, whatever. You're protecting your whole future with that life insurance. You also have, in the new life insurance today, you have living benefits. You have disability coverage for injury or illness, and you have long-term care coverage. You're protecting a lot of things just by doing Kaizen, this life insurance policy. Tax-free growth. Life insurance proceeds are tax-free when they're paid out. They grow tax-deferred, grow tax-free, And the way we make it tax-free income is we borrow from the policy. We want the leverage. We want the borrowing. Management or advisory fees. This is a life insurance policy. There is insurance costs, but there's no advisory fees. There's no management fees. That's about 2%, give or take, right there that we're saving. Over time, all these good things actually will overcome by a long ways the cost of insurance. The risk managed growth, downside protection, no market losses. When the market does negative whatever, your worst year is zero, no loss. Market link growth. Not going to give details here. I can help you with that if you want to talk about it. But you get upside participation in a market linked approach. Then we have the leverage, the strategic leverage. It's a 5-year funding. We're going to show you a chart on that. Just 5 years is your payments. We use institutional leverage, institutional banks. We have a trust ownership, so it's protected. It's a turnkey strategy. It's just very minimal efforts. You don't have to worry. And a lot of flexibility in the later years, not in the early years. Access to cash value with no required minimum distributions. Here's some of these things I want to mention. If you attended other webinars, I've always done this in every webinar, but you have the silver pegs are your payments, 5 yearly payments, or actually through Allianz, we can actually set up 5 years of monthly payments. While you're doing those 5 years, the bank is paying approximately the same amount that you are paying into the policy. After the 5 years, they continue to make that payment that they're making, plus they now pick up the payment you were making. It's almost graphically shows a 3-to-1. If you're putting in 100,000, the 5 silver pigs, the bank's going to be putting in about 300,000. And you're going to get these benefits that we've been talking about. All without the typical, we set this up and build it so there's no credit checks, there's no loan documents, there's no personal guarantees, there's no signature, there's no collateral, there's no loan. We have a lot of tools to help people learn about Kaizen. One is a website called ILIA. That's that word up in the left column, Interactive Learning Information Assistant. This is a great site. I use this a lot. I use a lot for this. Estimate my benefits, the third thing down on the left, to show people on their situation how it'll be. But it has lots of information. I can get this available for you. But I want to show you, we're not going to go to the site and crunch all the numbers, but I'm going to show you a 45-year-old, that hypothetical, male, excellent health, annual income 240,000. He's already put aside 500,000, and he's willing to put 50,000 a year into Kaizen for 5 years. He wants to start retirement at 65, and we're projecting this to give income 65 to 95. Here's our assumptions. The NAIC, National Association of Insurance Commissioners, life insurance is regulated by the states, not the federal government. And this Association of Insurance Commissioners that they've formed, they do, to keep things the same ball game, they have an illustration growth rate that's permitted. On October 30th, not too long ago, I crunched these numbers. It was 6.81. For this hypothetical, I'm going to show income tax rate of 37%, long-term capital gain rate of 20, and a state income tax rate of 5.5. But remember, we're going to mainly is 6.81 is our growth rate we're going to assume. Let's start this hypothetical. If this 45-year-old put this 50,000 into a regular investment, an after-tax investment, and let it grow at 6.81, he could start pulling out at 65, $41,332 a year. And by the time he hit 95, he'd have pulled out $1,201,201. I wanted to give this illustration the most income possible. So this is 65 to 95. 96 has zero income. But that shows the 41, the most I can possibly squeak, still getting the 6.81. If we do it in an IRA or a 401k, tax deferred, we could bump his income with this strategy to $52,717. That's a little bit of magic, as my old webinars would say, a little bit of alchemy. So I want to show you the others. Here's Kaizen. Kaizen overcame the insurance costs. And with no losses and with the tax-free, this person using the 6.81, he can have approximately 100,000 a year starting at 65. A lot more than 41 or 52, tax-free too. And total is 3,100,000 through 95. He had a death benefit day one is 45 of $1,004,000. He has still death benefit a 95 of $1,299,000. He could still continue to take income. That looks pretty nice with the no downside and all these other things. Okay, but you're thinking it. What if things don't go well? We've stress tested this for the 1980s, the high interest rate market, and it wouldn't have been 100 in the high interest rate of the 80s. It'd have been 75,000. Still better than 41 or 52. And if we stress test it for the Great Depression, it'd been 65 and still better. So even the worst stock market era possible, it continues to work. Now, why did I do that double at the bottom, 200,000? I'm sure you're thinking I'm dreaming a little bit. Well, Allianz is one of the companies, the insurance companies we use. They wanted to evaluate this ILIA illustration software. They took it and crunched it and looked it over and tested it. And they wanted to see if we're lying, misleading, I guess they should say, on that 100,000. They came back and said, well, we think there's an 80% chance that 100,000 is going to be double. An 80% chance. So the income for that double person, 6,200,000, is a whole lot more than all the others. So there's some numbers. So you get a feel for what Kaizen can do. And this is available through this ILIA website. But there's other things you can attack now. Another website, a newer one, this one here, you don't have to give me your name, your email, your cell phone number, your social security number. You can go to that QR code and you have access to this website. It has probably almost, maybe even more than the other one. But you also have a calculator. They have some videos, and you can just go to the site and explore Kaizen to your heart's content. You can call me anytime you have a question. that you can't quite figure out, great site. Have we had enough time to get the QR code? All right. We have another website. This one here is still Kaizen, but we're tailored this one for that person who wants to use Kaizen to gift to their kids or their grandkids, a special niche. I don't have a QR code here. I probably need to get one, but if this is your desire to explore Kaizen from a gifting point of view, send me a text, an email, whatever, and I'll send you the link to this one. My website, I think it's pretty robust. I built a retirement income gap calculator to help people decide, how am I doing? Am I on track? I've actually got a basic one and I've got a complex one, but they're both, you can do it. But this is extremely simple, but it's on my website. Just go there and you can try it out to see how you're doing towards retirement. There's two ways to implement Kaizen. How to engage is your choice. Well, let me stop here. It's this online approach with that QR code. It's you kind of learning, self-paced, digital engagement, videos, whatever. But with me available, if you have any questions, I call it Kaizen Online Advisor Backed. I'm just always there. This is a little bit of the Amazon approach. You explore things on Amazon, you look it over, push the button and buy it. Well, you can do that here. But I can do a one-on-one too. You want to go to lunch, get together, talk about your goals and what you're trying to do, and I have a lifetime of history in the investment advisory world. I can help you on a one-on-one basis. Your choice. It's the same strategy, just different engagement styles. The right path is how you want to go. I don't care. Well, I shouldn't say I don't care, but your choice. I do have on my website a lot of links. You can go to a lot of things, resources you can learn from. But okay, I mentioned my webinars. I didn't need to layer this in. Let me just throw them out. Oops, sorry. Let me go back. This is my new sequence of webinars. So on a monthly basis, I'm going to do inversion thinking and Kaizen. Try to give you a lot of the details. Today has been the inversion thinking and retirement income. I haven't given all the details on Kaizen, but we've shown you that it's an approach that will help you with retirement. Next week, I have one on family gifting. I'm going to do those 3 monthly. Then bi-monthly, I'm going to do an employee retention, and the other month, business succession. Then quarterly, I'm going to do on specializing and looking at leverage, another one on market volatility, another one on taxes. That's our series of webinars. And here's the current schedule. Next week is the 29th. We have the one on family gifting. There's the code. If you take a screenshot, you can go to that and you'll be ready to watch the webinar next week. And then you can see the codes after all these in February. The first one, the first week will be that flagship one again, February 3rd. Then I'll do this one again on February 10th. Family gifting again on February 18th. Then we'll do the employee retention one. And in a normal month, I'm going to have 5, but I've got enough on my plate to get everything ready for now. But that's the dates. This webinar will be posted on my website probably by tomorrow. So if you don't get these dates, you can go to watch this webinar again. Kairos Aurelius. Here's a maxim. What endures is not what promises the most. What endures is what fails the least. That's inversion thinking. The middle one is the Latin of that phrase, and the bottom one is the Arabic. Kairos, a person of ancient origin, and this is one of my hobbies is finding quotes and looking at interesting approaches. Anyway, there's a quote, another quote from Kairos. And here's my phone number and my email and my website and that QR code again. I'm going to leave this up for a minute for anyone who wants to take a screenshot. And where are we? 11:31. Oh, I'm getting better. I like to keep this within a half hour, so that's good. But thank you for attending, and we'll see you on one of our next webinars. Sorry, I'll put that back up.